Today we're heading to Modern to make the biggest, most ridiculous pile of tokens ever with Lonis' Token Factory. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. And this week, we're heading to Modern to play a deck I am ridiculously hyped for. We're playing Lonis' Token Factory, a deck that is just trying to make as many clues and food as treasures as possible and kind of use all these janky creatures like Chatterfang and Academy Manufacturer and Lonis to combo off. So let's talk about what this ridiculous pile of cards is trying to do. Jump into a Modern League, see it in action. So everything starts with Lonis, which has a ton of text, but the big text here is when a non-token creature comes into play, we get to make a clue token. So by itself, that's fine, but that's not enough for Lonis' Token Factory. The factory part of the deck is Academy Manufacturer, which says if we make a clue, food, or treasure, we get one of each instead. So now if we have both of these, whenever a non-token creature comes into play, we're getting a clue and a food and a treasure. If we ever get two Academy Manufacturers with this setup, it's absurd. We're getting 3 of each clue, food, and treasure every time a creature comes into play. So this is kind of the main engine. And then our finisher is Chatterfang Squirrel General, which says if we make 1 or more tokens, we get those tokens, plus we get that many 1/1 squirrels. So we throw Chatterfang into the mix, and all of a sudden we're making all these clues and food and treasures, but they're actually 1/1s, and then we can sack the 1/1s to Chatterfang's other ability to kill all of our opponent's creatures, and eventually we win just by beating down with 1/1 squirrels and Lonis's and Academy Manufacturer after making hopefully 20s, 30s, 40s, hundreds of clues and food and treasures. We're gonna try to do some ridiculous things today. We also have a bunch of other cards that makes clues or food or treasures, like Gilded Goose, one of our RAM cards, also makes a food, so it triggers all of our stuff. Ragavan, Tireless Tracker, just pretty decent cards that also make treasures or make clue tokens. Collecting Company holds everything together, finds 2 of our combo pieces for the price of 1 card. Grist is our main removal spell. Mana Base, Gingerbread Cabin, super cute. If we have 3 or more forests, it comes into play untapped and we get a food token. But really with Academy Manufacturer or whatever, we're getting a food and a treasure and a clue, and it's doing all kinds of crazy things. Sideboard, Endurance for Graveyards, Force of Vigor for artifacts and enchantments, Megalith Moon for Tron, Grist, Ragavan, 1 more copy each in the sideboard. Ragavan looks weird in the sideboard, but I think the idea is to bring it in if we're on the play, where Ragavan's especially devastating, and leave it out if we're on the draw. And that is the ridiculousness of Lonis' Token Factory. That's our Much Brew deck for this week. So let's jump into some games and see, not if we can win. Like, I'd like to win, I always like to win, but let's see what ridiculous things we can do. How many of these tokens can we make? What's gonna happen? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some Brothers War cards? And snag them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Much Brew About Nothing time. We are playing some Modern this week with Lonis' Token Machine. I love decks like this. Basically, this hand is so slow, to the point that I don't even think we keep this hand. 3 lands, 2 trackers, 2 Chatterfangs does not seem good. I don't know if this is better, but we'll keep it. Yeah, let's keep 2 Grists. I mean, this hand is also pretty slow. Esper Sentinel. Come on, something we can do early in the game. Lonis. Well, I mean, Lonis could come down next turn. So apparently we're getting hammer timed. Horizon Canopy for our opponent. Esper Sentinel number 2. And a Springleaf Drum. What else you got, opponent? I mean, thankfully our hand is mostly creatures getting in, hitting us. The question's gonna be, can they find a hammer and a way to equip it? All right, let's crack this. Opponent's tapped out. Blue source, get a breeding pool. Take the 1. I mean, Lonis into Manufacturer can do things. That's a land. Yeah, I think we just crack this for an Overgrown Tomb. We're gonna have to get it at some point anyway. Overgrown Tomb untapped. Down to 15. And Lonis. All right, no whammies, no whammies, no hammers, no removal. That's bad. That is a future hammer. Reality chip, so that's gonna be able to draw some cards at some point. So this attack would mean their last card could be Blacksmith Skill. You know what? We're just gonna take it. Untap. Stomping Grounds. Do we just manufacture? Probably. We could Grist. Yeah, I mean, I think we just manufacture. Manufacture, try to set up for next turn. I mean, if we untap with this setup, next turn should be kind of sweet. Opponent untaps. Gonna be interesting to see what our opponent does here. They can make a dork or reality chip, but not both. Esper Sentinel number 3 passes. So they're gonna go with the Urza Saga. Gingerbread Cabin. Make some tokens. We really would love to Coco, but giving our opponent 3, we got a Coco. I guess we can sack our treasures and just give our opponent 1 card. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield, investigate. Yeah, collect a company. Pay the 1. Pay the 1. Opponent gets to draw 1 card. All right, be good, Coco, be good. So we need Chatterfang. Yeah, I think just Chatterfang Manufacture. Then we make tokens. Okay, hopefully we're doing this right. So many triggers. Oh, that was pretty good. And now we get to do it again. Where's our squirrels? Are we not getting squirrels? I feel like we're not getting squirrels. I guess we're getting 1 squirrel. 1 squirrel, 2 squirrel. Play Grist. Grist kills Giver of Runes. Oh, that was a sweet turn. Okay, blacksmith skill. We will pass the turn. Opponent does not get to make an Urza Saga dork. So he can get the hammer, but they don't currently have a way to equip it. I mean, if we untap and play a creature, we can, oh my goodness. We can ridiculously go off at some point. Were we doing this wrong? Why do we only have 1 squirrel? I'm so confused. Was I stacking the triggers in the wrong order? Okay, they make the construct. How do we get so many foods and treasures and clues and not get any squirrels, only get 1 squirrel? Opponent gets a Shadow Sphere. Last card. Pure Steel Paladin. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is going to be an issue in the future. Equips to the construct. Thankfully, it's still summoning sick. Going to also equip Reality Chip. But they're out of mana for now. We just got to go off enough that we can win or wrath our opponent's board. Passing. Let's sack 2 treasures. Draw a card. Please be a creature. Ragavan works. Untap. Oh, it should be sweet. Another creature? Windswept Teeth. Plain Windswept Teeth. Crack Windswept Teeth to thin the deck. Get a Gingerbread Cabin. Make a food. Let's try clicking these in the opposite order. Manufacture. Chatterfang. Manufactures. I'm so confused. Do we get more squirrels? Some more squirrels. Take up Grist. Play a Ragavan. Maybe we should dash it. You know what? Let's just play it. Play Ragavan. So, manufacture. Let's try quicking Chatterfang last. Ah, there we go. Chatterfang last. That's the trick. So we make this huge board. So what are we most scared of? This construct. How do we stop that construct? Do we keep drawing to try to find creatures? That's the real question. Let's crack a clue. See if we can hit a creature. Oh my goodness, the best creature. Gilded Goose. Honk honk. Chatterfang last, Chatterfang last, Chatterfang last. So let's resolve the Gilded Goose first. Chatterfang last. Make a few squirrels, few treasures, and more. Lonis triggers. Wow, this is so sweet. Chatterfang last. We learned it. We punted our way through, but we figured it out. Chatterfang gotta be last. Get some triggers. Make some tokens. This is turn 5. We have 10 treasures. Let's sack a clue. 12 treasures, actually. Sack a clue. At what point does our opponent just scoop? Play Ragavan. This time I think we do dash it. Dash Ragavan. Keep the dashed Ragavan. Lonis. Triggers. It's a lot of squirrels. That is a lot of squirrels. Yes! Now we start the killing. Sack a treasure token. Chatterfang. Sack 2 squirrels. Kill the Giver of Runes. Sure, that's fine. So opponent gives protection. We will Chatterfang, sack 2 squirrels, kill the Pure Steel Paladin. Chatterfang, sack a squirrel, kill Esper Sentinel. Chatterfang, sack a squirrel, kill Esper Sentinel. Chatterfang, sack the squirrel, kill the Esper Sentinel. Now we pass. We stop on our opponent's upkeep. Oh, this is so sweet. We stop on our opponent's upkeep. Ragavan goes back to hand for next turn. On our opponent's upkeep, before they get to do things, we will Chatterfang, 5 squirrels, kill the construct, and then Chatterfang, just to send a message. I don't even think we need to kill this, but kill the reality chip. All right, opponent. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's all we need to do. Opponent draws a fetch land. Passes the turn. We will just politely attack here. We're not gonna do anything weird. Go to combat. Swing. Leave back Lonis. Send the goose message. And that should do it. I think we got him. Oh, wow, is this deck fun when it does its thing. Look at that board state. Look at that board state. Oh my goodness, it's so good. I mean, opponent was pretty far ahead too. Triple S percentile, Pure Steel Paladin, Reality Chip. Chatterfang just don't care. I mean, when you have Lonis and 2 Academy manufacturers, it is one of the craziest things you do in a game of Modern, I think. And honestly, if we wanted to be mean about it, we could just like be sacking clues, dashing Ragavans, like really just crashing Moto here. We could have so many of we could probably token limit everything here if we wanted to. It's such a janky board too. Squirrel tokens, Lonises, but we got them. We got them. The Wrath of the Squirrels. Chatterfang, probably better known as Plague Wind. Happy good times indeed. Okay, opponent, hammer time. I mean, I guess this means we need Force of Vigor, probably. What do we cut? That's the tough question. Do we cut some ramp? So we really want to go 1-drop, 3-drop. Maybe like go down a tireless tracker. Maybe 1 collected company. And maybe 2 ramp spells. Ragavan's kind of funny in this deck because we don't necessarily want to attack with Ragavan. I mean, it's fine. Like if it can attack and hit and get a treasure, that's great. But just having this 2-mana dash every turn is pretty sweet as a way to trigger our stuff. Let's just do that again. Force of Vigor is a pretty good answer. It gets hammers. It gets Urza Saga. It hits most of the best things in our opponent's deck. So Ragavan last. That's the rule. That's the rule we got to remember. Always click the Ragavan trigger last. Because we definitely shorted ourselves a lot of squirrels clicking in the wrong order. Honestly, if you know the rules on that, explain it to me, because I'm still my brain is too smooth to exactly understand why we have to do it in that order. Something with a whole bunch of different replace. I don't even know. If you know why we got to click Ragavan last or why we got to click Chatterfang last, let me know, because that is weird. No Academy manufacturer, but I guess that's fine. Chatterfang's pretty good. That's one of our best cards here for the removal. And Sagada's Aid. Sagada's Aid and an Ornithopter. How are we just getting hammered next turn? If our opponent just has the full-on Nutter Butters, we're going to be in a whole heap of trouble. Go. So if our opponent flashes and hammer and hits us, we probably die. So we know the hammer's coming. Stoneforge Mystic. So we know even more hammers are coming. You know what would be good? Drawing Force of Vigor right this second. Or Vern Catacombs, that's also pretty good. So do we attack? I assume they block with Stoneforge. They can flash in the hammer. So it's not like we can block the Ornithopter anyway. Boom, get in there. I'm expecting our opponent to just Stoneforge block. Stoneforge did its job. We're having less fun this game. Crack it. Breeding Pool untap down to 15. Run out Lonis. Pass the turn. They're gonna have so many hammers. We might be dead right now. Definitely possible that we're just straight up dead right now. Opponent goes to combat attacks with the Ornithopter. Hammer. Oh wait, we get to block? So it's gonna get trample next turn. I think we have to not block. I think our best bet is actually to grist and kill the Ornithopter. I think that's our one like semi-realistic chance. Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Get a forest. They could still have the protection spell. If they have the protection spell, then we're just kind of out of luck. Utopia Sprawl on black, because they can get Shadow Sphere to have trample next turn. So we can't chump block our way out of this. Grist. This is it. Do you also have the protection spell? Oh, that also works. Now we don't have a creature to sack. Yep. Yeah. And then they just get the Shadow Sphere and we die. Well, there's a reason the Hammer Dive has been one of the top decks in Modern for a very long time. And that reason, primarily, it's really good at killing really quickly when it gets the right draw. And we saw a good example of that. I mean, that was a pretty resilient, turn 3 kill? Free twin? Hashtag free twin. At least we're on the play for game number 3. Gives us a little, and we got a Force of Vigor. Okay, this will keep. So we are missing anything to go with the Academy manufacturer. But Force of Vigor is probably our most important card. I would say it's likely our single most important card. Wood of Foothills, crack Wood of Foothills. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Run out the Arbor Elf, pass the turn. So we can grist next turn. Although we won't have a green card in hand for Force of Vigor. We'll see what our opponent does. Plains. How fast of a start do they have? Giver of Runes. And passes. Okay, so Windswept Teeth, crack Windswept Teeth. In this case, we're just gonna get down grist. Tap, untap, run out the grist, pick it up, start making insects. Ooh, mill of cocoa. That cocoa would have been so nice here. That's fine, pass the turn. Windswept Heath. I mean, if we leave up Force of Vigor, it should, ooh, blue mana. I was gonna say it should be hard for us to die, but maybe that's not true. Paradise Mantle. What is happening? Paradise Mantle draws a card. Passes. Oh, another Manufacture. Yeah, Manufacture's not doing much yet. I'll play the land. How big of an issue is this Pure Steel? So we can grist, kill the giver. Do we need to leave up Force of Vigor? Can we play a Manufacture? Yeah, all right, let's crack for Catacombs. Get a breeding pool. Untapped. Take down grist. Sack the insect. Kill the giver of runes. Opponent, gonna go protection mode. Sure. And I think... we'd have to get pretty unlucky to die here. Play the Manufacturer, pass the turn. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have too many equipment in hand to go with this Pure Steel. And hopefully we draw a way to make some tokens. Manufacturer, we saw the absurdity of it last game. When it's doing its thing, it's ridiculous. But right now, it's kind of doing nothing. Opponent, Colossal Hammer, draws a card. I mean, maybe our opponent just has like every single card they need in hand and we die. That would be very sad. They'd also need the Shadow Sphere. We can chump. Reality Chip. Okay, so opponent draws a card and they get to equip everything. Yup. Oh, they're gonna equip to the Reality Chip? It is still summoning sick though. Okay, moves it over to Pure Steel. Well, opponent did have the absolute Pure Steel dream. Ginger Brute. No way. Oh, they don't have the mana though, so we can still block it. Goes to combat. Opponent attacks grist. So we have to block. So we block the Ginger Brute to keep the grist. Well, let's see what we draw. We do have 2 Academy Manufacturers, and we can get the Gingerbread Cabin to start making tokens. Opponent gonna move it over to Pure Steel. Opponent passes. Ooh, it's just another land. Just another land. Hopefully we can do this right. So, play Academy Manufacturer. I think this will work, but oh boy, we could be wrong. Academy Manufacturer. Misty Rainforest. Crack the Misty Rainforest. Get a Gingerbread Cabin. Makes a food, triggers our stuff. I think this should give us enough mana that we can Force a Vigor. If not, then we're just punting our way to death. It should be 3 times, right? So it should be 3 treasures plus the Gingerbread Cabin, I think. Yes. So that does work. Oh, I really would love to keep the Manufacturers for another turn, because now we get to do it again with this fetch land. But that's probably just too greedy to let the Pure Steel live. Kill the Pure Steel, and then kill the Hammer and the Ginger Brute. Yeah, I think we have to. Oh, this hurts. Grist. Second Manufacturer. Oh, it would have been so nice to keep both of these. Kill the Pure Steel. Force of Vigor. Get rid of Colossal Hammer and Ginger Brute. Pass the turn. Staying alive through a really scary Pure Steel start. Opponent untaps. I wish there was a way we could have kept the Manufacturer. All right, there's the Urza Saga. That will be a problem in the future. There's a Sigarda's that might be a problem now. Wow, can they really just rebuild the combo already? Equips the Paradise Mantle and another Sigarda's Passing. Come on, deck. We need something good. We need something good. Misty Rainforest. That's not exactly good. Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get a Gingerbread Cabin. Get some things. Not as many as last time, but still some. Sack a clue, draw a card. Play a Gilded Goose. Yeah, I think we just pass. Actually, maybe we should sack the clue now. Yeah, let's sack the clue. Or a clue. Oh boy, so many lands. So many lands. Way more lands than we want to be drawing. Opponent untaps with a million Sigarda's and an Urza Saga that's ticking up. Hushbringer. All right, that's actually pretty annoying. So we're going to have to find a way to get rid of that. Opponent passing. Do we cash in the treasures? Probably. Yeah, let's cash them in. Draw a card. Please not more lands. Oh my god, even more lands. Untap. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Verdant Catacomb, crack Verdant Catacomb. Get a Gingerbread Cabin. Make some stuff. Sack a clue. Harbor Elf, sack a clue. Academy Manufacturer. So we know our opponent can get a hammer. This is bad. Playing Arbor Elf. We'll see. This might kill us, this Urza Saga. Oh, we have drawn really, really badly here. Yeah. Untaps, there's a Saga, gets a hammer. Yeah, that's a ridiculous number of lands. Gonna make a construct. That's a big board. Yeah, we're gonna need to find like a grist. So there's the hammer. Opponent gets to equip it. I mean, we do get to chump block, so we shouldn't be dead here. Puts it on, unless they also just randomly have, if they randomly have trample as well, then yes, then we die. Yup, 15-15. Goes attacking. Well, we will Arbor Elf block. Stay at 10. We're out of gingerbread cabins. Yeah, we need multiple things because of this Hushbringer. Wow, what a long and grindy game. Finally passes. Let's sack the clue to draw a card. Chatterfang. I mean, Chatterfang's great. Is it too slow? Oh my goodness, another land. 1, 2, 3. Play a land. Pass the turn. Oh, no trample. Pass the turn. We also only have 3 minutes on our clock, which could be an issue. Dismembers Chatterfang. So we need to make a food. Make some squirrels. Sack some squirrels. Kill the Hushbringer. I guess we should have sacked this Chatterfang, actually. Oops. Small mistake. All right, pass the turn. Please no trample. Opponent untaps. 2 cards in hand. Do any of them give trample? There's an Inkmoth Nexus. We gotta hurry or we're gonna run out of time. What a long game about it. What do you got? What do you got? Going to reconfigure the reality chip. Giver of runes off the top of the deck. Definitely could use some more action. Paradise Mantle on the Giver of Runes. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent. We block with the Squirrel. Can we do this fast enough before we time out? So we jump. Sack a clue to draw a card. Oh, more mana. Utopia Sprawl. Gilded Use is good though. 1, 2, 3. Academy Manufacture. Vern Catacombs. Crack Vern Catacombs. Oh, we gotta play fast. Crack Vern Catacombs down to 4. Get a Forest. Play a Gilded Goose. Make a bunch of things. Sack a clue. Activate a Gilded Goose. Make a food. Make a bunch of things. Dash a Ragavan. Go to combat attack. See if our opponent blocks. They do, to lose the Giver of Runes. Sack a clue. Oh my goodness, it's just a little too late. It's just a little too late. Play the Lonis. Pass the turn. Oh, so close. Opponent land. Now we have to do too much chump blocking though. And we're down to 1 minute on the clock, which is also gonna be an issue. Not sure how we get in 13 damage in 1 minute. Inkmoth fired up. Did they just draw a hammer? Goes attacking, goes attacking. Well, we will block here, take an infect. Opponent passes. Tireless Tracker. Well, play Tireless Tracker. Get some stuff. Misty Rainforest. Get some stuff. Crack Misty Rainforest. Overgrown Tomb tapped. Get some stuff. Crack a clue. Grow the Tracker, draw a card. Oh, there's a Chatterfang too. Play Chatterfang. Get some stuff. Chatterfang last. Oh no, the leg. I'm gonna blame Moto. I'm gonna blame Moto for this. I think this is partly Moto's fault. Get in, hit ya. And we end with, I think we probably would have won this, but we're gonna run out of, time. Oh no, oh yeah, we definitely would have won this. 100%. 100%. Because we could have drawn a card, we would have hit Ragavan. So then that would have run Academy Manufacture. And then we are essentially infinite. And then that gets to everything we need. So it goes down as a loss on the record sheet. It does go down on a loss on the record sheet. Although I call those content timeouts. It's one of those things where I think just being on recording a video and talking and stuff, it takes more time. So I think, especially with a deck like this with a lot of clicks, that's just one of those things. So bad news is the record's gonna say 0-1. Good news is we got to see the absurd things that this deck can do, and I think we had the win. Much about nothing time. We are playing some Lonis' Token Factory in Modern, and 1 land is sketchy, but 2 Utopia Sprawls helps. We will keep. I mean, we have all the synergy we need, assuming we can get it to stick on the battlefield. Oh boy, Steam Vents, untapped, passes. Well, Forest and Utopia Sprawl. Oh goodness. Oh dear, that's ridiculously bad for us. Oh, that is why you don't lose the die roll. Opponent untaps. Yeah, that's real bad. Real bad. Ledger Shredder. Can we draw land? No. Well, Utopia Sprawl on blue. Getting that Utopia Sprawl Spell Pierce might be the game, honestly, with this hand. Oh, not good. Steam Vents. Representing even more counters. Archmage's Charm, perhaps. Passes. We draw. Not a land. Well, we will play a Lonis. Go. Oh, I thought this was a one land, one keep that we could get away with because of the Utopia Sprawls, but apparently not. Magic gods say no. At least because we're so mana screwed, we're never going to accidentally cast 2 spells and trigger this Ledger Shredder. Opponent, little bit Unholy Heat. Nice little 1 mana murder. Expressive iteration to draw some cards. I mean, this might be a hard matchup anyway. Is I think the best deck in Modern now by a decent amount. Polluted Delta, Dragon Rage Channeler does some surveilling. It's so funny to me, and I know the data's worse than it used to be because we haven't had paper tournaments, but if you look back when Twin was banned, it was like 9% of the meta or something. And for the sake of the diversity of the format, that was enough. That was enough for them to pull the plug. And now, data's not as good because we don't have paper tournaments anymore like we used to, but Murktide's 17-ish, Hammer Time 12-ish. Not exactly diverse. Yeah, we're just gonna, I guess we play Gilded Goose. Go. Tempted to just scoop here. With how this game is going, I don't feel like there's a way we can get into it, but you never know. But I do think it's funny. This isn't to say that Murktide should be banned, but it's just another data point on how the Twin banning was so ridiculously, that was absurd. Lightning Bolt the Gilded Goose and Surveils. Got a lot of Chatterfangs. Goes to combat, gets in for 2. Down to 16. Well, do we have a 6-6? 7-7. I was close. Oh, there's the land. Okay. Well, Murktide. It's a magic deck. We will bring in Endure. I think we bring in Endurance. In part because Endurance is graveyard hate, but also in part because it can snipe the flyers. Like 3/4 reach with flash is actually a decent blocker. Probably something like this. Could cut a Ragavan. Ragavan might be bad, but Tracker's kind of slow. Yeah, let's try it like that. We're on the play. We cannot be spell pierced on turn. Oh, jeez. Okay. Keep, I guess. That is all the lands in the multiverse. Kind of the opposite issue is game 1. Game 1, couldn't find a mana to save our lives. Game 2, that is not going to be an issue. So essentially 6 mana sources in a Ragavan, Forest, and Arbor Elf. Go. Opponent untaps. Spire Bluff Canal, and Bolts the Dork. Well, this does mean we get to dash a Ragavan. That's something. Well, even more lands. Oh, Magic Gods, why? Why do you hate us, Magic Gods? Why do you hate us, dash Ragavan? Hit ya, get a treasure. Can we steal something playable? We will cast it so fast. Top card, Counterspell. I guess I'm glad our opponent's not drawing that. Actually, I don't even know anymore. It's not like we have anything to cast anyway because we only have lands. Opponent, Ragavan of their own. And a Dragon Rage Shanala. Please don't do this to us. Collected Company. I mean, Coco's great. It is great. Whether or not we can resolve it, that is a whole... Actually, we can resolve it right now, can't we? This Ragavan card might be kind of busted. It might be a smidge busted. Well, Overgrown Tomb untapped, and I think we just do this now while our opponents tap down. They have so many counters. Collected Company. Double Endurance or Endurance Chatterfang? We're definitely taking one of the Endurances. Chatterfang has more synergy, but it also dies easier. But it is a combo piece if we get going. You know what? I think we just take 2 Endurances. Get rid of your Lightning Bolt. Get back our Coco. I mean, those are good blockers. Pass the turn. The problem with Chatterfang is it does just get bolted. And we really don't want our opponent to be able to start hitting us with Ragavans and such. Opponent passes. Just kidding. Surveils a bolt. Digging for I assume a land and something else. Gets a bolt. Plays a land. Bolts our face. Is there any way we can go aggro? Mills a Spell Pierce. We drop to 13. Opponent passes. We draw 8 Gilded Goose. Well, let's dash a Ragavan. Go to combat. I assume our opponent trades with the Ragavan, but we'll see. This is not exactly how our deck intends to play, but we're trying to piece it together here. Trades off the Ragavan. Takes 3. Play a Gilded Goose. And Misty Rainforest, go. All right. Opponent untaps, goes to combat. Ragavan. And a Fiery Islet, and passes. We draw even more lands. We'll play the Forest, and I guess we are also passing. All right, no more lands, deck. No more lands. No more lands. We've drawn them all. Please. Opponent's going to consider and surveil. So they turn on the Dragon Rage Channeler. The question's going to be, do they have a bunch of Unholy Heats? And do they find a Murktide? I don't know how we beat a Murktide at the moment. Opponent untaps. I guess we're going to start cracking these just to thin our deck. There's value to holding them because we have Tireless Tracker. We have synergies where we can turn them into tokens if we have Academy Manufacture by getting Gingerbread Cabin. Opponent sacks another land. Did they find Unholy Heats? Has to attack. I mean, we are going to block it up with both endurances. Guess technically it's a drawback to have to attack at the moment. All right, DRC down. Manages to kill an endurance. Okay. Lightning Bolt number 3. Well, we're going to crack the Misty. I think we got to thin the deck at this point. Breeding Pool tapped. Honk honk, make some goose food. And then sack of food to gain some life. Come on, deck. Give us a Coco. A Coco would be sweet. We would accept a Coco. Tireless Tracker would also be sweet, although we sideboarded some of those out. Not another land. We can't take it. We can't take another land. Ooh, Grist. That's spicy. Okay, we will accept a Grist. Play a Grist. Take up the Grist. Make an insect. Oh, mill the Coco that we desperately wanted to draw. Get in with endurance. Hit our opponent to 10. Play the Wooded Foothills. Pass the turd. No, not like that, opponent. Grist is a good answer to Murktide, assuming it lives. And they did not have the Unholy Heat last turn, or they would have used it. Wow, what a draw. All right, that's a draw. That's a draw. Opponent, Atwara. Passes. Well, we will make some goose food. Untap. More mana, go to combat, get in with the endurance. Takes it. We'll pass the turn. Oh, I can't believe they top decked that Unholy Heat. Oh, into expressive iteration. Yeah. Oh, it's so unfortunate. Finds Unholy Heat number 2 to kill the endurance. Everything's coming up Murktide at the moment. Gilded Goose Honk Honk. Untap. Well, play Chatterfang. Chatterfang's not the worst here. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Get a Gingerbread Cabin. That makes a squirrel. Sack the squirrel. Kill the Ragavan. Get in for 1. Hit our opponent to 6. Play the Misty Rainforest. Yeah, let's just pass. Let's pass, see what our opponent does. Opponent's down to 6. Okay. Yeah. Digging for another Unholy Heat. Wow, and they scoop it up. Okay. We survived somehow. I mean, we ground him out. We managed to somehow grind him out. We never had to face down the Murktide, which was nice. The double endurance Coco was huge. That was really big. Well, now our opponent's going to be on the play. That was probably about the boringest imaginable win we could get with this deck, but we will take it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just going to run it back. Oh, I forgot about Jingatha. We probably should have been grabbing Jingatha at one of those points. I'm sure there's tons of yelling in the comments about that, but you were correct. We should have, at some point, grabbed Jingatha. All right, we'll keep. See what happens. Spirebluff Canal. Passes. Windswept Teeth. Crack it. Breeding Pool. Gilded Goose. Go. Not a bad hand. Considers. Like, we got the Lonis, we got the Grist, which is our best removal spell. Endurance offers a lot of sneaky value. So I actually kind of like this hand. We'll see what our opponent does. Steam Vents, untapped. So representing a counter spell. Okay, instead decides to kill the Gilded Goose. Maybe we just play another Gilded Goose? We'd really like this Lonis to live. Going with the Gilded Goose also lets us play a tap land here, so we're not taking quite as much damage from our mana base, which is relevant. Stopping Grounds tap, go. Well, this Goose lives for now. Expressive Iteration. Okay, well, we might be able to have kind of a cool turn. We'll see what our opponent does. We might be able to Lonis Ragavan make a clue. Snow-covered island. Passes. Ooh, Chatterfang 2. Wooded Foothills, crack Wooded Foothills. Yeah, I think we're going for it. Get a Overgrown Tomb untapped. Step 1, dash a Ragavan. Going with the all creature mode lets us play around potential spell pierces, which is nice. Ragavan, get a clue. Hit ya, get a treasure. Steal a land. Well, we'll pass. We're getting things assembled. An opponent has a lot of cards in hand, but they haven't really been able to put together any offense. Not yet, at least. Steam Vents. Untap down to 14. Kills the Lonis. Passes. Well, I mean, step 1, dash Ragavan. Opponent counter spells. I think we just get rid of the graveyard to head off a potential Murktide. And let's just Endurance. Get rid of the graveyard. Pass the turn. And then next turn, I guess we can start playing Grists. They still can be spell pierced, but opponent, Fiery Islet. Cracks it. Okay. Opponent passes. Well, go to combat. Get you with the Endurance. Opponent takes it. Yeah, and we'll run out of Grist, I think. Oh, we're so close to playing around Spell Pierce. Should we play Chatterfang? But we do have 2 Grists. Yeah, let's play a Grist. I don't even know if they still have Spell Pierce in their deck, honestly. We're mostly a creature deck, so Spell Pierce doesn't seem like it should be that good. If they have to use a hard counter, then that's a win. If they use a counter spell or an Archmage's Charm or something. Ooh, okay. Well, take up Grist. Make an insect. Mill a goose, that's fine. We didn't really want the goose anyway. Pass the turn. Okay, that went pretty well. And this Endurance is keeping our opponent's graveyard off. Bolts the Grist, but that's not enough to kill it. Opponent Steam Vents. Untap down to 9. Is this a huge Murktide? It is a huge Murktide, but we got another Grist. Opponent passes. Oh my god, Academy Manufacturer. Take up Grist. Make an insect, Mill Utopia Sprawl. Play Grist number 2. Keep the new one. Tick down Grist. Second insect. Kill the Murktide. Hit ya. Down to 5. Oh, and the pressure is on our opponent. Opponent untaps. Are we done? Are we beating Murktide for the 2-0 in our hearts? Opponent passing. Hit you down to 1. Ooh, has something. Atwara the Endurance, that is fine. Because we get to Academy Manufacturer, Misty Rainforest, Crag Misty Rainforest, get a Gingerbread Cabin, make a bunch of stuff. Crag Misty Rainforest, get a Gingerbread Cabin, make a bunch more stuff. Take up Grist, mill a land, pass the turn. Oh, that was huge. And we can still flash in the Endurance if we want to. We can also cash in clues to draw cards. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, Lonis taking down. We looked at it. We looked at the metagame percentage. The best, most played deck in the format. We didn't get to fully go off there because our opponent had so much removal, but that was pretty good. Oh, this deck's so sweet. When we're not timing out, this deck is sweet. Much ado about nothing time. We are playing Lonis' Token Factory in Modern, and see what we're up against. Let's see if we can make some tokens. I do love playing this deck. Jingatha, Mirror? No way. No way. Lonis' Token Factory Mirror, I don't even want to think about what that would be like. Don't even want to consider it. I mean, I guess the upside play is just Verdant Catacombs, crack it, Stomping Grounds untapped, and run out of Ragavan. A stupid monkey. Maybe we make a treasure and get to cast a Coco or something. Bloodstain Mire for opponent. Or maybe Ragavan dies. That also seems very possible. Untap down to 17, and opponent passes. Wait, do we actually get to get in? No, there's no way. You're actually gonna let us hit you? All right, there's the lightning bolt. Well, let's Forest. Utopia Sprawl. Huh, black or blue? Black for Grist, blue for Lonis. I guess we go blue for now. Lonis is like our key card. Play the Arbor Elf, pass the turn. Bloodstain Maya, Mishra's Bobble. I mean, if we get to untap with everything, we're definitely gonna Coco. Opponent cracks, takes a peek. Cracks the Bloodstain Mire. So doesn't want whatever they had on the top of their deck. Ooh. Grixis Death Shadow, maybe? So opponent gets to draw a card. All right. Well, in that case, tap untap. Collected Company upkeep. Get a Tireless Tracker Chatterfang. Lose our Arbor Elf. Oh, that's good. Misty Rainforest. Get a clue. And a squirrel. Do we just want to pass? Do we crack the... When do we crack the fetch? I mean, if they had removal, they would have used it. Yeah, let's crack the Misty Rainforest. Overgrown Tomb, so we have all of our colors untapped. get a clue, and a squirrel, and pass the turn. Boy, we're channeling our inner Phil. Never met anyone love a card more than Phil loves Tireless Tracker. Expressive Iteration. I mean, Tracker is, even in 2023, it's still a good card. An opponent, no peace. The token fat. Oh, we're gonna find another Coco too. Too strong. Opponent's playing, I assume, Death Shadow. Magus of the Moon could actually be sneaky good. They do have red removal spells, but they would have to find a red removal spell. We could probably cut Ragavans, maybe? Like, cut Ragavans. Tracker actually seems good in this matchup. Cut the Ragavans. Is Magus worth it? Also, how much does Magus screw us over? Quite a bit, but it might still be worth it. All right, let's try it. Let's try the Maguses. I just love playing this deck. It's just so fun. It's just like, it does such cool things. I don't know how competitive it is, but it seems competitive enough. We could technically be, double Coco. We could technically be 2-0 right now if it wasn't for that timeouting in our first match. Steam Vents Fire Opponent. Untapped. Dragon Ray. Oh, maybe this is different than I expected. Well, Forest and Utopia Sprawl on blue. Maybe the Blood Moons aren't good if this is what our opponent's doing. Opponent Mishra's Bobble to Surveil. Mills it. Oh, maybe this is just Murktide splashing Thoughtseize? I mean, I guess Death Shadow could also play Dragon Rage Channeler. Steam Vents Untap. Cracks takes a peek. Gets in for 1. Tireless Tracker. Yeah, let's play Lonis. Play a Wooded Foothills, pass the turn. I'm definitely expecting Lonis to die, but maybe it doesn't. If it lives, it's definitely sweet. Okay, it does not live. Yeah, it's too much to hope for. So opponent gonna kill the Lonis. Yeah, leaves it on top. I assume our opponent's looking for other colors of land, probably. All right, finds a fetch, finds a black mana. I feel a Thoughtseize coming. Blood Crypt, untap down to 13. And dashes Ragavan. Opponent goes attacking. Hopefully he doesn't steal anything too good. You know what, let's crack this now. We only have one of some fetches. Overgrown Tomb, tapped. Ragavan takes a Chatterfang, picks it up, and passes. Well, I mean, let's play Tireless Tracker. Windswept Teeth get a clue. Pass the turn. Oh, we are down to 13. Okay, Ragavan dashed. Definitely taking those Magus of the Moons back out. Opponent goes attacking. I think we gotta block the Ragavan, sadly. Block the Ragavan. Crack the fetch to get the clue. Yeah, Endurance is definitely gonna be better. This seems way more like a Murktide deck than I was expecting. Yeah, I mean, I guess we take the Stomping Grounds. So get another clue. Ragavan does its thing. Opponent plays a land. Pithing Needle. Wonder what they're gonna name. Are they like trying to Pithing Needle Lonis? You can't name Clue because the token's not a card. I guess Chatterfang? You shut down the removal on Chatterfang? I mean, you can name Lonis, but honestly, we never actually plan on activating Lonis. I'm sure it'll happen eventually just because it's funny, but that's like not a part of the plan of the deck. It's just there to make clues. What are we pithing? What are we pithing, opponent? I don't think our opponent even knows. We are kind of just dying though. We're down to 9. Does name Lonis. That is fair. Windswept Teeth. Play the Windswept Teeth. Pass the turn. I mean, I think we gotta try to Coco. I don't know when probably end step. Opponent untaps. Definitely concerned about counters. Opponent. Okay, that's pretty good. Opponent might actually be playing Blood Moon too. Yeah, we definitely gotta get those Magus of the Moons out of there. Finds a Polluted Delta. Plays a Polluted Delta. Cracks a Polluted Delta. Watery Grave untapped. Ragavan dashed. Oh, it would be super sweet if this Coco resolved. That would be sweet. That would be pretty sweet. Coco. Oh boy. This has been the league of getting wrecked by random spell pierces. Yeah, we do not have the mana to pay for that. I mean, this very likely means we're dead. So opponent had a spell pierce. Yes, this is exactly Murktide. It's Murktide Splash in black. Steals a Gilded Goose. Picks up the Ragavan. We untap. Top deck Magus of the Moon that we wish wasn't in our deck. Cast a Coco. Drown in the Lock. Okay. Yeah, so basically Murktide splashing black. So we're going down these Magus of the Moons. Very, very bad. We're going up these Endurances, which should be very, very good. Oh, look at this huge 3-drop pile. I mean, we are on the play. Run it back, run it back. We get to play first. Opponent has counters for literal days. Drown in the Lock and... Oh boy, those were such blowouts. Stupid monkey. Given that extra mana to always have up a counter. I mean, we're going to keep this. This is about the greediest keep imaginable, but we're doing it. We're going to have to put our Utopia Sprawl on a non-basic, which is awkward, but untap land, Utopia Sprawl. On green, pass the turn. We would love to draw land. A land would be really, really sweet. Then we can Lonis into something else. Mishra's Bauble. People love casting their Mishra's Bauble before playing their land. It's just like, it's the flex thing. You just like the feeling of, oh, I can cast a spell even though I don't have... Opponent's use of phases is very odd. For some reason, like, pass to the beginning of combat and then crack their fetch. I don't know what's going on. Opponent gets to draw a card. Can we draw land? No. So we will play an Arbor Elf. And we will play an Arbor Elf, and we will pass the turn. One land, one keep. Opponent, how much removal do you have? There's a bolt. Untaps. Snow-covered mountain. Dashes Ragavan. Yeah, we got to take the hit, unfortunately, from the stupidest of monkeys. Steals a Lonis. Gets a treasure, picks up Ragavan. What do we find? Ooh, we find a fetch. Okay. Play Lonis. Untap the land. Misty Rainforest. Crack the Misty Rainforest. Overgrown Tomb. Academy Manufacture. Make some stuff. Pass the turn. Okay, I mean, now our opponent needs removal. They really need removal. And I'm losing my voice. Voice is lost. I need a drink. Excuse me. My apologies. I'm so excited my voice is gone. Here we go. How about, all right, Ragavan, sure. I mean, the question is, can our opponent kill things? If they can't kill things, we're gonna go off here. Fetch land would be sweet. Tireless Tracker. Tap, play a Tireless Tracker. Gonna kill the Lonis. That is annoying. Untap, sack the treasure. Play a Chatterfang. Pass the turn. So our opponent found a removal spell. Untaps. We could still use a land. A land would still be nice to trigger the Tireless Trackers and start the fun going. Wow, opponent scoops it up. Boy, my voice is gone. Oh, my apologies, everyone. My voice is... Wow, we were not going to draw land for a while. This deck's actually sweet. Not only is this one of the coolest decks, playing the coolest cards and doing the most unique things, but... it also seems to be winning. Like, this should be 3-0. That timeout, the win in the hearts would be a 3-0 if that was real. All right, I'm gonna go get a drink, and then we'll be right back with round number 4. Excuse me. Oh. Much ado about nothing time. We are playing some Lonis' Token Factory in Modern, and this hand looks pretty good. I mean, ramp into Grist into Coco. Hopefully we get some sweet stuff off of the Coco. Yeah, let's just Front Catacombs, crack it, grab a forest, and I think we just Utopia Sprawl. Utopia Sprawl's guaranteed more or less to be around next turn. Gilded Goose, you never know. And then getting down the Grist would be pretty nice. Turn 2 Grist can do a lot of, ooh, Thoughtseize. Are we getting scammed? I take it all back. All the cool things we're gonna do are not going to happen anymore. I assume this is we lose Grist and Coco. Oh my God. All right, well, scammed we've been. That's always fun when that happens. All right, opponent. Double Thoughtseize. Well, let's see what we draw. Lonis is actually pretty good. All right, so we get to play a Lonis. Overgrown Tomb, untap, Gilded Goose. One of the nice things about our deck is we do have a lot of ways to generate card advantage. Like, even just these clues are gonna help us overcome the double Thoughtseize here, hopefully. Gonna go to combat, gonna get in. Wow, did they just keep a full-on scam hand? Do they even have... Okay, they have a land. Bloodstained Mire cracks it. I mean, our opponent also did have to spend 3 cards. Doothy Void, Waka. That doesn't do a ton against us. Wooded Foothills also doesn't do a ton. We can crack the clue and hope we hit something. Or we can just take Chingatha. You know what? I think we Wooded Foothills. Crack it for a forest. Crack the clue. Oh no. Oh God. Okay. Get in with the Lonis. Oh, another land there is. The exact opposite of what we needed. Well, we'll pass the turn. Yeah, that was exactly what we needed not to have happen. Okay, so now we might be in trouble because of the double Thoughtseize. Oh, geez. All right, things are getting worse by the second. Opponent finds a Terminate. So now we need to draw like a Coco, basically. Down to 5, dead on board. We draw Ragavan. I guess we can dash Ragavan and see if we hit something. So like a Fatal Push would be good. Something to kill the Grief would give us at least some shot. Come on, Ragavan. Come on, stupid monkey. All right, another Ragavan. Well, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can play another Ragavan. We can play the land. Crack it. Get a gingerbread cabin. Crack the food. Oh, crack the food. I mean, we're not literally dead. Figuratively, we're pretty dead, but literally we are not. Well, I mean, that's what Scam wants to do. Scam wants to do this and hope it works out. It's just a very inconsistent deck. Like, if you stop it from doing its thing, it's pretty underpowered. All right, well, very good scrammed. Very good scam draw. I mean, that's the scam dream. I honestly don't know if we change anything against this deck. Well, we could bring in maybe we bring in one more. Let's go down one Ragavan. Actually, we're gonna be on the play. Just slamming a Ragavan's probably great. Let's go down one Tireless Tracker and one Arbor Elf. Bring in one more Grist, bring in one more Ragavan, and hope our opponent doesn't have that draw again. I mean, that's essentially it. When the Scam deck gets its perfect draw, it is close to unbeatable. The good news is it doesn't always have that draw, and when it doesn't have that draw, it's pretty bad. This is kind of the nightmare. Zero lander. This is not a matchup where we want to be mulliganing. We will put I guess, Academy Manufacturer to the bottom. Opponent keeping 7. That's a bad sign. All right, well, Gilded Goose go. We got good cards in hand. Will they remain in our hand, and can we possibly cast them? Like Leaf Glyphs. Lightning Bolts our Gilded Goose. We really need to draw land. Magic Gods, please, please. All right, more Gilded Geese. Well, Gilded Goose number 2 go. About it untaps. Urborg. And Thought Seizes. Takes a Lonis. And has even more removal. All right, so opponents had a very good start. We draw a land, although a land here not doing a whole lot. We will pass the turn. I mean, if we draw more lands and get to the Cocos before we get scammed, that could be something. Opponents had a lot of 1-mana interaction. Opponent, land number 3. All right, this would be a great turn to draw a land. How about another land, Magic Gods? This is awkward, but I think we have to crack this. Get a forest. I think we need to put this on a basic Utopia Sprawl. Blue, pass the turn. We're 1 land away from Cocoing, and the Cocoings could be pretty helpful. We'll see what our opponent has. I mean, there's still the nightmare that our opponent just starts griefing and taking all of our goodies. Blood Crypt tapped, opponent. And we're to the hard cast grief stage of the game. Takes the Grist. Well, let's see if we draw land. That is more or less the game. Ragavan. That is uncastable. We will pass the turn. Goes to combat, gets in. And hard casts a Fury. Yeah, things are looking pretty grim. Arbor Elf. Oh, I guess we'll cast it. Pass the turn. This was a little sad because our opponent, I mean, they had a bunch of removal, but they didn't have the scam draw, and we're still we cannot hit the lands. And since we can't hit the lands, we're dying to our opponent just hard casting the Evoke Elementals. That is ruining our day. We dropped to 8. Engineered Explosive. Magic Gods did not want us to win that one. Oh my goodness. We were going to draw the land, but wow, that was some bad running. Bad running. Well, all right, one more to go. Much brew time. We are playing some Lonis' Token Factory, and I mean, we have lands. We will accept the having of a land. Oh, last match against Scam was rough. All right, Gilded Goose go. I mean, the good news is that's our first real loss of our league. Discounting the timeout content loss that, oh, we were doing so many cool things. Scalding Taunt Parvana. Is this Murktide? Not Murktide. Okay, that's good-ish. Crashing Footfalls suspended. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Overgrown Tomb untapped. We're gonna play Academy Manufacturer. Go. Crash and Footfalls. I mean, if we get to untap and play the Gilded Goose with the Manufacturer out, it's pretty good. Opponent passes. Are we icing Upkeep or something? Well, play Utopia Sprawl. Overgrown Tomb. Now our opponent's gonna try to ice. Oh, they're gonna Brazen? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. All right, opponent Brazen Borrowers. Yeah, that's super annoying. Okay, well, now we gotta pass the turn. Yeah, that's not what we wanted to see there. Crashing Footfalls ticking down. Passing. Well, we will make a food. We'll untap. Oh, whiff on lands. Arbor Elf. Oh, this hand would be going off too. Gilded Goose. Wow, we're stuck on mana again. That's been a constant theme the last couple of games. Run out a bunch of mana dorks and see what happens. If our opponent's cascading into footfalls, that's a problem. Yeah, we really would have loved to have been able to play Manufacture and then play the Gilded Goose, but not gonna happen with us just being stuck on 2 lands. Pass the turn. I mean, maybe it would have been better just to use the Goose and try to do that instead of running out the Arbor Elf. We'll see. That might have been better than running out the Dorks. I guess if we, with the Utopia Sprawl, we could have recast Academy Manufacture. Here they come. Rhino time. All right, so there's a bunch of big tramplers. About it taps. But if that gets countered, things go wrong. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. We probably should have just went for it. We know our opponent has the ability to do this, so we probably just had to go for the biggest impact play. Oh, jeez. That seems very likely to be game. Plays a Blood Moon out of their 3-color deck. Goes to combat. So opponent also doesn't have much functional mana, but they have an infinite number of rhinos, and we're at 8. Okay, we do draw a forest. I mean, I guess this just means we have to Coco and hope to get lucky. We're gonna have to get really lucky though. Oh my goodness, the worst Coco. That is the opposite of really lucky. Only 2 creatures, Chatterfang and Ragavan. All right, so I guess we passed the turn. Oh yeah, that was a final nail in our poor little coffin there. Opponent gets more rhinos. Yeah, we needed to hit like Lonis and Manufacture. Opponent. More mountains. Yeah, there's just, with this setup, there's no way we can, no matter what we draw, there's no way we can do anything. Cast of Fury, sure. Yeah, that did not go well. And sadly, we have literally 0 answers to this deck. Yeah, I think this is a matchup this deck is not designed to play. We will run it back. We have quite literally 0 sideboard cards for this matchup. I mean, I guess we could arguably like bring in a Grist or something and try to like slog through the rhinos with removal, but that doesn't seem very practical. All right, let's get a reasonable draw. Let's get a good draw. We can do this. It's possible. This is actually kind of a good draw. So 2 basic forests does mean Blood Moon is not gonna get us as easily, although it's awkward when it comes to trying to play Lonis in our other cards. Well, play a forest. I mean, I guess we just Gilded Goose. We can Gilded Goose, and then we can Lonis plus Arbor Elf. About it, Wooded Foothills. Gets a forest, suspends the crashing footfalls. Well, play Lonis, play a land, play an Arbor Elf, get a clue. Would still like to draw more mana. We would like to get to this collecting company. Getting down Lonis is good though. That is a good start. Right now we're 1 mana short from the Coco. Lonis plus Coco can potentially do some really sweet things. Bonus, Steam Vent's tapped. Oh, land. Not a land, but Manufacture is pretty good if we're not going to draw a land. So Manufacture, get some triggers. Sack the food. Arbor Elf, get some triggers. Go to combat, hit you with Lonis. I mean, we're off to a much better start. Opponent down to 18. This is the big turn. Opponent takes down the rhinos. I think we can survive rhinos. If we can resolve this Coco, there's a non-zero chance that we just combo kill. Opponent. Brothers Hood's End to wrath our board. Well, now there is a non-zero chance that we survive. Oh no. Magic gods, why have you forsaken us? Oh no. Oh, the lowest roll. Oh dear. It looks like we're gonna finish with the 2-3/3-2. Gonna be one of those weird leagues where we win all of our first matches and then lose all of our later matches. There's a Chatterfang. Oh, we were set up to go off so spectacularly too. That's the part that disappoints me. Losing, whatever, I don't care about that. I would like to win, but it disappoints me that we were gonna have a really cool turn and that Brothers Hood End took that away. Might as well fire it off. Why not? Why not? Nothing else going on. Might as well just throw it out there. Force of Vigor, I don't think that's that good against us, but all right, opponent gets a bunch of 4/4s for free. Plays a Fury. Sure, another Brothers Hood End. a land. Well, boom. Verdant Catacombs, crack it. How do you like us now, opponent? And we will play a tireless tracker. I mean, I guess in our defense, we're beating two Brotherhood's Ends is going to be tough either way. Opponent has a 1 mana removal spell in their deck that can't play things that cost less than 3 mana, or it will ruin their primary game plan. I will say, I think this rules change is a negative at this point. The unintended consequences of Wizards' actions are that's a very interesting, such an interesting topic. I mean, we're dead here. There's no point in even pretending that we're not dead here. It's a very interesting topic because Wizards changed the rules on split cards and their mana values to try to nerf Brain in the Jar. Brain in the Jar. Editor, pop up Brain in the Jar. Because it's so hilarious in hindsight, because who nerfs Brain in the Jar? But they changed the rules on mana values to nerf Brain in the Jar. So rather than being independent, which is how the rules were, that this was a 1 mana spell and a 3 mana spell, so you would cascade into it, they changed it so it was combined. So now Dead Gone is a 4 mana spell. One of the weird unintended consequences, yes, they killed Brain in the Jar, which was... was hilariously their goal. Yes, they did achieve their goal of killing Brain in the Jar. The downside is that they also just massively powered up Cascade decks, because now Cascade decks get to play Fire and Ice, they get to play Dead Gone. So essentially the punishment for being a Cascade deck was greatly minimized. So by trying to solve, and I can't stop laughing every time I say it, because Brain in the Jar, I'll pull it up in case the editor does it. If you weren't playing at the time, and even if you were, you might not even know what the card is. But yes, Brain in the Jar, too powerful. The problem was, and again I'm laughing because problem is used very loosely here. Under the old rules, you could take up your Brain in the Jar, and then you could do something like Bet Call, infuse it with only 2 counters, and make 4 1/1s and draw 4 cards, which means it was almost as strong as an uncommon for Modern Horizons 2. But Wizards decided that this aggression could not stand, man, and they had to nerf it. You just had to get rid of it. So they changed the rule, and it did kill Brain in the Jar. You never see Brain in the Jar anymore. It is completely dead. But now you die to Rhinos on turn 4 that have 1 mana removal spells and so forth. So interesting. Anyway, that's super off topic. So we finished technically with a 2-3. Although, again, we gotta go buy a treasure chest, because that first one we were, I think, very close. I mean, I think we were very close to 100% to win. It had to be like 98% to win that one if we had a little bit more time on the clock. So I think that we deserve the treasure chest. We deserve the 3-2, the 1 treasure chest, the 3-2 in our hearts, because like I said, I think if, I'm very certain we would have won if we didn't run out of time. It's one of those things when you're making content, like it just takes more time. You're talking through things and explaining things. So I don't think we should be punished for that. So I think we do deserve 1 treasure chest. So let's get a treasure chest, set the world right, and see if we get something glorious. Here we go. 1 treasure chest for our 3-2 in our hearts, 2-3 on paper, and a little bonus rant about Cascade and Brain in the Jar. Brain in the Jar. The nerfing of Brain in the Jar. I'm gonna have to make a video about that. That's a good YouTube title. Although in Wizards' defense, it was actually, like, for its era before Modern Horizons, fusing a Bet Call on like turn 3 or something was actually pretty powerful. So it wasn't like the deck was bad or anything, but I don't know if it would be good today. Maybe we need that to be our thing. Unnerf Brain in the Jar rather than free to win. All right, 1 treasure chest. We get Cruel Sadist. All right, so kind of a whiff there. Cruel Sadist, not valuable. I don't think I've ever seen it see play. 15 play points is something. And then I guess we get our free land packs. You get these promo packs every month that are now basic lands. So Jumpstart. This is a good promo. I like the Kangaroo promo, but anyway, that is Lonis' Token Factory. Pretty wild league. That's been our much brew for this week. So yeah. I'm gonna go and get the wrap-up sign. I will be right back. So what did we learn this week about Lonis' Token Factory in Modern? And overall, we went either 2-3 or 3-2 with the deck, depending on how you count that first match. That first match, we played the most ridiculous match against Hammer Time. We went off, we did all kinds of ridiculous things. In the end, in game 3, we played this really close match where we were like struggling to stay alive, and we finally stabilized, and I'm like 98% sure we were about to win that game, but we ran out of time before we could actually do it. So On paper, it goes down as a loss. In our hearts, I count it as a win because I really truly believe we're going to win that game if we had like 2 more minutes to pull off our synergies. The good news is that was a game where we did the most spectacular things and we just really got to see the absurdity that this deck can pull off. Just so many treasures and clues and food on the battlefield, wrathing our opponent's board with Chatterfang. It was ridiculously sweet. So even though it was technically a loss, it kind of felt like a win. So outside of that one, we went 2-2 in our other matches. So the deck, it's fairly competitive. We got to see the good and bad of it. The good is it just does ridiculous things. The bad is if our opponent can keep our creatures off the battlefield, like that last match where we got hit by Brother's Hood's End twice to wrath our board. If we can't keep our creatures on the battlefield, we really don't do much because none of our cards, outside of I guess Ragavan and maybe Gris, but most of our cards are not very powerful standalone threats. We don't have like I'm going to play a huge Death Shadow and kill you. I'm going to play a big Tarmogoyf for a big Eldrazi and just kill you with this above the curve threat. We have all these synergy pieces, which are really underpowered unless we have 2 or 3 of them on the battlefield. And then all of a sudden, we're drawing through our deck and making ridiculous amounts of mana and just doing the craziest things possible. So I think the deck, it's super fun. This is one of my favorite decks to play in Modern. How good it is, I don't know. I think it's good enough that if you play really well and run really well, you can get a 5-0 in a league with it and be fairly competitive. On the other hand, if you hit the bad matchups with a lot of sweepers, a lot of interaction, to keep the pieces off the battlefield, you could end up going 0-5 or something. But regardless of how competitive it is, it's just spectacularly fun to play. So that's Lonis' Token Factory. That's been our Much Brew for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.